Welcome to this week's edition of Leading with Confidence. My name is Confidence Seleme and I'm your host. This program is proudly powered by the William Seleme Foundation, and the foundation's mission is enabling education in Africa. This week I'd like us to talk on a topic I've titled Becoming a Master Leader. Often we look at great leaders and we desire to reach the levels they've reached. We admire their achievements, we read their biographies, and we trace their trails to discover and decipher their success systems and success secrets. To become a master, you must become a student. It is only students who get master's degrees. Of course, I'm talking here in the figurative sense, but even in the literal academic sense, this is true. If you aren't in the classroom of life and you aren't learning and growing, how do you expect to become a master? How do you expect to become stronger if you aren't training and exercising? It's also quite beneficial to start while you are yet young, because that will give you an advantage as you progress into the full measure of your leadership. One of the driving masters of the modern age is a man named Lewis Hamilton, the British Formula One Grand Prix driver, who even at his young age is already considered to be one of the greatest driving professionals of all time. I was fascinated to learn that Hamilton started karting in 1993 when he was just 8 years old. When he was 10 years old, he was so confident of his abilities and destiny that he approached the McLaren Formula One team boss, Ron Dennis, and said to him, "One day I want to be racing your cars." Close quote. He spent the next couple of years going through the various stages and phases in the racing world and eventually signed a deal with McLaren, which made him the youngest ever driver to secure a contract. What are your ambitions, your vision, and your desire? What are you seeing in your future, and what are you doing today to make sure that you reach your desired destination? The success gurus will tell you that success is always intentional. It doesn't just happen. Nobody just becomes CEO. Nobody just becomes a millionaire. There's always a process and a plan. There's a resolution and a resolve, a tenacity and a discipline, a developing of gifts and a determination to excel and be counted as a winner and an achiever. To become a master, here are a couple of things which you must master. Number one, master self, not others. Often when we think of leadership, we think of leading others or even ruling others. If your intention as a leader is to rule others and become a master over people, then your motives are questionable, and in fact, those motives disqualify you from leadership. The purpose of leadership isn't to rule over people and be a master over them. It is to help people and be a servant unto them. The only person you should ever seek to be a master over is yourself. You should seek to have self-control, self-discipline, and self-confidence. A leader who is able to rule over themselves is much more useful to the world than a leader who seeks to rule over other people. When you have self-control, you will not desire to control others. When you have self-discipline, you will inspire discipline in others. When you have self-confidence, you will raise the level of confidence people have in themselves and in you. True leadership begins with self-manifestation. There's a popular quote which says, "Happiness is an inside job," close quote. Well, so is leadership. Self-development is leadership development. The question is, do you have a self-developmental plan, or are you just hoping and wishing that you'll grow and self-manifest? It was the famed author of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, who said, "The successful leader must plan his work and work his plan," close quote. What are you doing to ensure that you grow and develop? What are you listening to? What are you reading? What classes are you taking? I believe that we shouldn't judge ourselves by where we are, but rather by where we have the potential to go. However, it's of no use to judge ourselves by where we have the potential to go if we aren't doing anything to make sure that we get there. If we aren't putting in the necessary work to discover and release our gifts, how will we ever impact the world? How will we ever develop the capacity to make a real and lasting difference in the world? My friend, the person you must be most concerned about mastering and leading is yourself, not others. By so doing, you'll become the best version of yourself and you'll add real value to the world. Well, we've come to the end of this week's episode of Leading with Confidence. Cheers.